What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So we are having a quick look at the May 2025 calendar, and with good reason, because there have been some really big changes and they've just come in literally in the last few hours or so. So huge thank you to Eliotti for sharing these with us. But in case you don't know, it's time to know. And the first thing I want to say is do not summon this weekend. Why? Well, I'm going to show you guys. So let's zoom into this calendar here and you can see how busy it's getting right now. It's getting freaking busy. If you look over here where the soul exchange is, you will notice that the soul exchange that was supposed to be on the 25th has been pushed forward and it's now going to be tomorrow. So if you guys were still making up your mind about which heroes you were going to pick from Soul Exchange, I think it's probably time to, sort that out and get the wheels turning a bit faster, because Soul Exchange is literally going to be here tomorrow. And it's going to be running through the weekend. Okay, so you've got some time. I do have a pretty comprehensive video about the heroes, which I will put in the link to in the description below. So click down there if you want to have a look at that video and you want to get a little bit of advice in terms of which heroes you should be looking at in the Soul Exchange and which ones you shouldn't. But the reason they've done that, and that's the reason why we're doing a brief video today, is that and I've talked about this before, on Monday, the 26th, they are going to be putting the Gem Summon Challenge in the game. And that means that for all of us, we are going to be, or who hold off through the weekend and do not do any pulls, come Monday, you drop your 10 pull with gems and you're going to be guaranteed a hero from a pool of 10 different heroes. Now, are these heroes worth it? What kind of heroes have they included in the pool? It is the same pool as they had in beta. But I just want to, just for the sake of everybody, go over this with you today, just to let you know who's going to be in the pool and which heroes out of this pool I think would be worth leveling. And we'll sort of have a look at the odds and see what the odds are. But that all being said, even if you do not like any single one of these heroes, it's still a free 5-star hero. And so why not wait? Anyways, let's get into it. I have the list of heroes up. So bear with me one sec and I'll be right back. See you in a minute. All right, so here we are at the casino, ready to play the slots and, try our luck for a 5-star hero. But before we do get going and we look at this list, what exactly is a Gem Summon Challenge? Well, it's really simple. Basically, all you got to do is 10 pulls with gems. And you can pull anywhere. It doesn't matter where. It doesn't matter which portal it is. And there are going to be some pretty good portals running on Monday. But as long as you pull 10 pulls worth and you just use gems, you don't use summon coins or anything like that, you will be guaranteed to get a hero from this list. So we'll put up the list on the screen now. You can have a quick look. So we've got 10 different heroes and you will get a hero at random from this list. So it's not like you can choose the one you want. That would be nice. However, we're going to have a look at who they've got in this list, obviously see whether it is worth summoning. So the first hero that they've got is going to be Costume Ariel. Absolute banger of a hero right off the bat. So if you do pull Costume Ariel, I think that you'll be doing pretty well. She's still relevant. Her stats are still relevant. Her skill's still relevant. She boosts all allies' health by 520, I think. And yeah, that's what it says according to her card. And then the boosted health can exceed max HP. All allies receive a moderate amount of mana over 4 turns. And that's so good because obviously she's going to be building up the mana over time. And not only all of that, but she cleanses status ailments from all allies. So yeah, probably still one of the best Atlantis family heroes. In fact, there's very few of the Atlantis family that I would say can actually be used and will still be useful. But if you do land Costume Ariel, she's definitely one that I would look to keep. So our next hero in the row, we've got, this guy's terrible, Costume Atomos. I've heard a case made for him before, but to be honest, I've never really seen it. So basically he hits all enemies with quite a soft hit. Like it says 160% damage. Maybe he's been given a buff, but if he has, it's a really low one. And then the less mana they, the less mana they have, the more damage they get, up to 310%. But like for an average speed hit, all 310% damage is not that great anyway. And with his stats, they're a bit low, so it's just still not that great. And then he gives himself this revive effect where if he dies in the next 5 turns, he gets revived, and with 40% health and all stacks and everything like that's removed. Like you can still dispel the effect. It's just really annoying. So yeah, I don't think he's a great hero at all. I'd probably keep him for the next soul exchange. The next hero that we have in the pool of heroes that you can summon from, or that you will receive with your gem summon challenge, is the lovely Missandra. She is just freaking amazing. Like honestly, just she looks so good. Like, and she looks like she's having a great time on the beach. And her grass skirt, she's probably Tarlak's like girlfriend. That's what I think. Anyway, she is a great hero, and here's why. She's running at fast speed, and she gives mindless attack. So she can give the mindless attack up to 3 times, it says. So 280% damage to the target's not much, but then there's a 42% chance for additional hits on random enemies up to 3 times. So you can actually cast this mindless attack, because enemies hit automatically get the mindless attack, on potential up to 4 people. It probably won't target 4, but at least you can target a single person with a mindless attack with a fast speed hero, and it has the chance to target other heroes as well. So yeah, she's pretty good. Although I think stats wise, she's probably a bit dated, but the good news is in terms of costumes, when they do balance updates and things like that, Atlantis has been left in the dust for quite some time. But if they start bringing the heroes back in portals like this, it's quite likely that they will do something about increasing the stats of the costumes. It's always good to have it's always better to have a costume than a regular hero. So yeah, if you get her, I'd probably hold on to her, because I think at some point you probably use her, even at the higher tiers. In fact, they might use her more just because they need heroes which can just cast mindless attack on an enemy like she can. So yeah, pretty decent. Not as good as Ariel. So Ariel's definitely still a winner from the portal. The next hero that we're going to have in our I shouldn't call it a portal, it's kind of like a pool. Yeah, so the hero pool is going to be Oceananis, and he's decent. So if you do get Oceananis, he does damage all enemies. Like it's not that big of a hit, because stats wise he is a bit dated, but then all allies get 120% normal attack increase for 4 turns, and this effect can stack with other effects that he can get up to 170% normal attack, which is cool. And it makes him really, really usable against Titans. But because he's running at average speed, and he's obviously a 5-star hero, you can use him as part of like a fire attack stack as well, and use him against Titans. So he's got a bit of versatility. I do like him, and yeah, he's one of the better Atlantis heroes. So yeah, so far I'd say him, Missandra, and Ariel, you're not doing too badly. So 3 out of 4. Next hero, unfortunately, I'm not a huge fan of this one. It's Teis. I mean, like I say, she looks good, but yeah, she's, I don't know. Yeah, just the stats let her down quite a lot. Like she was pretty good when she came out because she could keep up in terms of stats. But like as we see heroes age, some heroes just keep that je ne sais quoi, and some heroes just lose it. And Teis is one of those who just lost it. So she does deal 300% damage to the target and to the nearby enemies, which is good. But again, like I said, it's pretty soft because of her stats. The target and nearby get water damage over 3 turns, and then all allies that are not of the ice element will get an increase of 30% attack, again for 3 turns. Allies of the ice element get 60% attack. I don't know why, it's just weird. But yeah, not the greatest. So yeah, probably keep her in your pocket for soul exchange. Now, the next hero that we got on the list though is Forces with the costume. So season 5, yeah, Untold Tales season 5 hero with a costume that you could potentially get just by doing a 10 pull as a bonus draw from this pool. that's pretty good. Like a 1 in 10 chance that you'll get him. And I'll say it straight away. This is the best hero of this pool by quite a big margin. Just because not only does he summon the minion, which adds 4% mana to the owner at the end of each turn, but he gets taunt at fast speed, and that prevents the enemy from using special skills on the caster's allies. So we know how strong taunt is as an effect, but he also gives those minions, and the minions increase mana every single turn as well, which is also a very, very strong effect. At the second cast, he summons the minions. They've got pretty beefy HP. They add 5% mana to the owner, and then he gets taunt for 4 turns. And all allies get 25% increased attack stat for the minion stack. As long as he keeps firing, that stack keeps going up and up and up. So yeah, he's brutal. He's really fun. He gets the taunt ether talent as well. And yeah, stats wise, he's going to be absolutely brilliant. So yeah, he's definitely a keeper. Next to him, we're going to have Galapago. So Galapago, his stats are going to be good, and they have increased his damage. So now he hits all for quite a decent amount. And he also destroys all of the minions from all enemies. So he's a great hero to take against minion heroes. Unfortunately, he won't work against heroes that have the unstoppable minion passive, but any other minion summoner, he's just going to rip all of those minions away from the heroes so that you can go to town and you can do your thing. Because how annoying is it when Moonbell puts up those huge minions, or Hilda puts up her minions, or whoever else you're trying to deal with, and you just cannot for love or money cut those suckers down. Well, Galapago will help you do that, and he'll do it with a, I was going to say smile, it's more like a grimace. He looks like an ugly, he looks like a very dated Ninja Turtle. Anyways, yeah, he's a good minion destroyer. I like him. He deals a decent amount of damage. He also gets a stack where the caster recovers HP for each destroyed minion. That's cool. And all allies get increased defense after he attacks, so he protects the team as well. Plus, he benefits from the family bonuses and everything else, and the stats that go along with the Untold Tales heroes. So yeah, for free, he's definitely worth it, and a decent hero. I'd level him if I do get him from the gem summon. The next hero we've got is Ultrux, and this is one that I actually do have in my roster. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a costume. And if you look at the updated calendar, he is actually getting a costume next week. But that being said, his team power is still 943. That is probably higher than pretty much like 90% of all the heroes that we've had in the Soul Exchange picks recently. So if you think about it, you're giving up 10 or 15 or 20 souls for a hero that has a lower team power than this. And he does still have a good skill. So with Ultrux, he deals damage based on dark shields that are on the board, which is kind of crappy because he's a dark hero. So by the time he fires off, you're going to have used up all the dark shields. I know. However, he can deal quite a bit of damage. So up to 270% damage on the first cast, up to 330% damage on the second cast. But then the caster and nearby allies get a counterattack with up to 120% of the damage received. And he reduces all received damage for the caster and nearby by 45% for 4 turns. So that reduction of received damage means that the counterattack is really, really effective. He's not going to work that great on defense. I thought he was going to be like the new Exnol, just because he looks like Exnol, and he seems like he's got it where it counts. However, it's just too easy to dispel him. So yeah, unfortunately, he's not that great on defense, but I can see this guy making a really good part of an attacking team. So yeah, probably worth getting. If you do get the costume, then obviously massive bonus. But yeah, so far, not too bad. Ephira. Right. I was saying not too bad. Unfortunately, Ephira is a pretty bad hero. Apart from the fact that her art is incredible. Like, it prompts people to make stuff like this. And it's just beautiful. Really. Like a woman riding a jellyfish in the sea. What more could a man want? She's incredible looking. Like, I love the cards for the Untold Tales. I do rarely some of them, except for Keto. Like, she terrible card. Great hero, terrible card. But her skill's just weird. And the consensus is across the board that she really doesn't work very well. So she summons a jellyfish minion for each ally with 32% HP and 24% attack. I think they may have beefed her up. Forgive me if the cards are slightly dated, but the forum ones are still the better ones because they do at least give you the full card to read off. And then she gives a stack. So all allies get plus 5% inherited HP for new minions that they summon. But now we have Mega Minions. We even had Mega Minions when they were out. And, you know, she gives an extra 5% HP, which sounds cool, but it just feels like it takes far too long. And you get heroes that can just destroy all minions. I mean, even take Grimble, and he'll destroy every single minion. Doesn't matter how much HP it has. If it's not a Mega Minion, it's getting destroyed. Take Galapago, he destroys everyone. So it doesn't matter how much you increase their HP, they're getting destroyed. And her second charge is kind of similar and more of the same, but not really. So she tries to do like a what's that gargoyle? Gosh, I'm gonna forget his name now. The green gargoyle that replaces the fiends. You know who I'm talking about. Anyways, great healer. So she tries to do what he does. She replaces all the fiends on all allies with jellyfish minions. So now, if they had fiends, they're going to get jellyfish minions. But what if they didn't have fiends? They might not have fiends, in which case it does nothing. And there's not that many fiend summoners that are super effective. So she summons a jellyfish minion for each ally with 32% HP, 24% attack, inherited from the caster. And then she gets the stack where all allies get plus 5% HP for new minions. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I remember reading this card when she came out. It didn't make sense now. Then it doesn't make sense now. She doesn't have a costume. Yeah, I don't know what to do with her, honestly. So let's move on. Right, so the other hero that we have featured in here is another Untold Tales hero, another one that doesn't quite have a costume yet. I think he'll probably be one of the last to receive one. But it's Gellert, or Gellert, I don't know how you're supposed to say his name. But he's a pretty good sniper. And another one that thankfully I have, but unfortunately, like, I keep getting the ones that don't have costumes yet. But he's a good sniper. So his first hit, like, in fact, they have been increased since this card. I think this one says 430% damage to the target, but the less mana the enemies have, the more damage they get, up to 570. And then in his second cast, it's anywhere from 500% damage to 670% damage. Plus, he steals either 10 or 20% mana from the target, and he increases all allies' mana generation by up to 30% for the following 3 turns. Plus, he gets that Nightmares, that family bonus where he can deal extra damage and everything like that. So he's a good hero. Like, these are good heroes, and quite a lot of them worth leveling. And if you look at Gellert's stats, like, he's at 950 team power, which is decent. And you'll still be able to use him for a good 6-8 months, probably. Hopefully, you know, unless power creep goes like backwards, hopefully it goes backwards. But yeah, we can all live in hope. So out of this list of heroes, I'm pleasantly surprised. And that is why my advice stands, is just hold off. Don't do any pulls this weekend. Drop your 3,000 gems on, or whatever it is, however many gems it takes to do your 10 gems pull. Do it on Monday and get your free hero. So yeah, out of this list, I think you'll be doing well if you got Ariel, or you got, the best heroes are probably going to be Ariel, Forces with the costume, Galapago with the costume. So those 3, I think, probably stand out to me above most of the others. Then, you know, coming in pretty good would be if you got Gellert, or if you got Oceananis, or Missandra with the costume, and maybe even Ultrux as well. And then, you know, the kind of trashy ones is going to be Atomos with the costume. Even though he's got the costume, he's still trash. Ephira, and Teis. And so, yeah, pretty much like 70% of these heroes, I'd say, are decent. So yeah, hopefully that has been helpful for all of you. I just thought I would share as to what is going to be coming around the corner, because it's going to be definitely a very, very busy weekend. And hopefully by Monday, you'll have 2 brand new 5-star heroes, one from the Soul Exchange and one from this portal, and maybe another one from the 10 gem summons that you've done, and you can do them literally anywhere. So yeah, I wish you guys all of the best. Please do let me know what you guys are thinking about. Let me know who you would pick from this list. Drop us a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already and you don't want to miss any future content. Share it with your mother, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.